Welcome everyone to our series titled Coach Story. I have designed this series which covers stories from my life with an intention to assist you with my experiences and lessons learned. Join me on a journey of new experience, new culture, and a new perspective that I gained in one of the jobs which was a culture shock for me. Many years ago, in my early 20s, I was desperate to find a job that was relevant to my education qualification of being an MBA. I was constantly looking for a job, but back in those days, jobs were not that easy to get in, especially in a corporate world. So when I found something without a forethought, I just simply accepted it. It was a beginning, a new beginning, and I felt it would bring into me new opportunities and experiences. But just 3 months into this job, I found how irrelevant the job I was into. I didn't like the role, the work, the culture, the people. Actually, I didn't like anything. Nothing was in sync with what I had envisioned about my job. Most of the people that I would be working with from a science background, while I was a management student, holding special interest in arts, philosophy, and social sciences. My colleagues were 15 years older to me, and you can easily say perhaps I was the youngest kid on the block. The phase of life I was in was very different from most of my colleagues that they were in. Also, being an introvert and a shy individual, I really found it very difficult to engage in conversations with my colleagues at any level. I used to live constantly on an edge. I was supervised, I had three bosses, and I sometimes felt I was staying with my grandparents and had to double check everything what I speak, felt, or share. It was it was choking, suffocating. And after a difficult few months of search, I actually left this job immediately. The other job that I found was actually not in a big brand as this one was. However, I found that to be way more relevant in terms of the role, in terms of my experience as an MBA HR. So just grabbed it, accepted it, and left this job as quickly as I could. In short, I was a complete misfit into the current role. Today, many years later, actually, when I reflected with my coach, the reason why I kind of was shifting jobs within such short span of time is when I realized that more than the jobs, their irrelevance, there was something more to it. There was something more, some real reasons behind my quick entry and exits into various jobs and roles. And why I did this exercise with my mentor at that time was basically because this was not the person I am. It was not in syncing with the values I held about a career. And I was not one of those people who would just keep shifting jobs so quickly. Working with my mentor brought a lot of insights to me. It helped me also not just realize what are the things that I should really look forward to if I really want a solid, relevant career. It also helped me understand and tap into my inner self to realize that maybe there were some issues in my early 20s and I was seeking an escape, and the escape I found was in a job. So, in the ordeal where I want a safe net or an escape, I went on taking up roles and jobs, even that were not relevant to my education qualifications, not engaging to my work role, and added nothing to my overall career trajectory. But the real reason at play was some kind of escape that I sought. So, in a nutshell, here are the lessons that I learned from this snippet of my life where I was a youngster in my early 20s, hopping jobs, escaping things, looking for freedom. I share this today with you so that if you are somewhere listening to this and if this resonates with you, I hope you don't commit the mistakes that I did. And I hope my lessons benefit you as much as they did me in my own personal growth. So, the first one, what's taking root? The relevant experience. One of these first lessons is all about having a long-term view of what exactly we are getting into. When I was job hopping, one of the things that I failed to realize that every job that was adding onto my profile or my resume was a foundation basis on which my experience was getting crafted, and it was like the stepping stone if I have to reach a particular goal. And little did I realize that I can't keep shifting from a healthcare industry or a science background to a IT industry or to manufacturing or to insurance or to banking. If I really want to attain a mastery level, if I were to succeed as a person with expertise, I need to take relevant routes, because the early on years are the years where we are building the foundation of our career. So if you are also job hopping, regardless of the industry, I would recommend that you don't. Pick up things and look for things that can add up to your expertise in the long run. Do a bit of research. Don't just get into a job for the sake of being in a job. Don't just job hop just for money or glamorous titles. Look for that every step that you're taking in hold relevance in the long run and also in the short run. The other lesson that I learned was that every error is a new learning. By this I mean, don't always try to be safe. Unless we commit errors, we take those risks. Personally, we may never grow. So if you are one of those people who are kind of, despite the immense potential that you may hold, are not really growing in life, I suggest take a pause and just take things head on. It's okay to fail. It's okay to commit an error, because that's where your personal growth journey begins. The last 3 points are actually interconnected. Research the firm and industry. I share this lesson from my 15 years of experience into the corporate, managing talent, developing it, coaching it, and even into the recruitments. Always be aware of the industry that you're part of. You cannot be everywhere and can serve everyone. You cannot be in the internet industry. You just can't be in the insurance industry, in the banking industry, in the manufacturing industry. Because every industry has its own set of principles, norms, structures, and every industry demands its own level of expertise. So if you really want to attain a mastery, if you want to have a solid career to be known as an expert, before, I mean, this is for people who need to just begin the journey. And this is one of the key things that you could always consider when you are moving or changing jobs. Ensure that you are part of something that you truly feel you belong to, because this is going to be one milestone in the long journey of your career till you decide to retire. So ensure that you pick the right thing for yourself. Finally, I I sought I sought counsel and I looked for a mentor through which I learned a lot, but this was not in the years when I was hopping jobs. This was 2 years later to it. However, it was, I guess in my case, a little early on that I was fortunate enough to have hired a coach and a mentor for myself. I would suggest the same for you. Never suffer in silence. If you think, and it may happen specifically with people in their early 20s or in their late 20s, if you feel you're not really enjoying the freedom that you always wanted, the financial independence you sought, or you're trying to run away or really do not know what is it that's holding you back, and you also do not really have the courage to take things head on. It might look very nice to read and easy, but it's not that easy really in life to follow. So in order to really get to that level, seek help. All you have to do is reach out to a mentor. You can reach out to your teachers from your education institutes. You could reach out to your elders. If you have someone in your family who you think understands you and can be a sound counsel to you, reach out. But don't suffer in silence. Because in our young years, when we think we know it all, and that's a very common tendency we all have, this one area where you seek counsel and seek help, believe me, will add tremendous growth to your overall personal development. So go for it. Well, friends, that's all. That was a small snippet from my early 20s that I shared with you today. These are my coordinates. Connect with me. Let me know what resonated with you. Let me know if you have any questions. I read all my emails and I answer all my calls. So feel free to connect. Thank you.